let's get to our football tea. This will be a special edition of football tea because we just gonna talk to Brother Johnathan. It's really an honor to have him here. We've got all.
Whenever he acts like an asshole, just give him an A clap.
We've got all types of questions for him. Dad, kick it off. Let's just go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I think we should start at the beginning. Tell us your football love story. How did you fall in love with the sport of football?
Right, so I'm going to start off pretty deep with this story. I'm going to keep it real.
Okay.
Not trying to get emotional, but hey, I love the game. So actually, it started in the 5th grade, the game. And I just played just because my parents put me into it in the beginning. Didn't care for it at all. But the first year of me playing football, my grandfather passed away. And the day after he passed away, it was amazing. He appeared in my dream. And we were at my grandparents' house, and he walked in the gate, and we were all freaking out, like, wow, what are you doing? You just died. And then he walked over to me. I vividly remember this, and he said, don't worry, I'm still here. Well, the next day I had football practice. My grandfather passed away at the age of 62. They threw me a jersey up randomly, not knowing anything about my grandfather. It was number 62. And when my grandfather passed away, my family kind of just broke apart. We wasn't getting it together anymore. We wasn't communicating. So I just always thought football was a way to bring my family together and a tool and an avenue and a platform. So I just took the game from there and it fell in love with it, as I developed my skills. And, hey, I am where I am now.
So leave it to Johnathan to bring it down.
I know, right?
What team did you play for?
I played for 2. I played for the Crenshaw Cougars and the Inglewood Jets.
Okay. My godson played for the Jets.
Okay.
And he went on and he's at Narbonne now.
He's a good man now. Yeah. Good man.
Okay.
Right.
All right, question number 2.
Talk to me.
Okay, so 2013, I'm going to take you back.
Uh-oh.
You playing for the
You can say it.
Cheeseheads. Green Bay Packers.
There we go.
The quarterback coach, Mr. Pornstash himself,
wow.
Ben McAdoo. That's my nickname for him.
That's our nickname.
Right. So
talk to me.
So I'm taking what happened this year as seeing him, your time with him, thinking when he got that job, did you see this fuckery coming?
Wow.
Or were you like, nah, he's going to do a good job?
So Ben McAdoo, New York Giants. Let's see. In 2013, the New York Giants was the 28th highest scoring offense, right? Coach McAdoo gets there, 2014, 2015 as an OC. By 2015, they was the 6th highest scores offense in the NFL. It's following your first year as a head coach. In 2016, he's 11-5. First time the Giants been to the playoffs since 2011. I mean, he did a great job. Unfortunately, this year, it was tons of injuries, suspensions for the New York Giants. You can't point it all at him. There was 3-13. It was tough. Odell Beckham went down. Sterling Shepard had a few injuries. You have Evan Ingram. He battled injuries, on the field, suspended. So it was tough, man. He did what he had to do.
So you're not going to answer the question?
I have to throw that out there. Let me build, the context. I'm a supporter of him. Full supporter. I had to tell my story. Give y'all a little nuggets if you didn't know. Help you out. Shit. But he'll land a job soon. I'm unfortunate what happened to him.
Do you think he lost that team though?
It seems like it toward the end. Benching Eli, when he's been a leader. His tenure for the Giants, I'm sure he lost some respect. When he benched him during that time.
He lost a lot of respect when he benched him.
Right, yeah. Players spoke out about it. They weren't happy with it.
Oh man, I think it was the bottom of the hill.
Right, for him right there. Yeah, absolutely. But various reasons that team, went downhill.
Okay, so as someone who has been on both sides of the fence with the NCAA, of course, as a player, and then you were an administrator for Notre Dame, correct?
There you go. You got it.
Notre Dame. Okay. How do you feel about the current state of college football economics? Like, do you think the players should be paid or at least receive some type of revenue? And then second part of that question is, what advice would you have for any player that's entering a D1 program, having been there yourself?
Absolutely. So your first question, I believe college football is a business. I mean, take the SEC this year. Average SEC school brought in $132 million.
Yikes.
Texas A&M brought in $192 million. I mean, it's a business.
Man.
Don't get me wrong.
They fired their coach.
Right? Yeah.
And
absolutely.
paid him $10
Right?
million to
Come
go
on,
somewhere
so-
else.
It's a business now. So with that said, I do believe, and I'm speaking just from my experiences and just from college football, not the other sports. I do believe that college football athletes should get paid, from a stipend standpoint. In addition to, the scholarships that they are receiving, with their education, because that is important. But when you bring in the marketing and the promotional collateral, when you selling their likeness with their jerseys and the money that they're bringing in, and understanding that the audience is coming to see the players, the product on the field, and certain players are drivers in that. So I absolutely believe they should get paid, and there should be a revenue share within that. Regards to advice, older Johnathan Franklin compared to a younger one. Oh my gosh. It's night and day, I tell you that. But a few things. Just one, I would challenge college athlete to take advantage of opportunities. I think so many athletes go into college fixated just on football. It's very important to understand to step out your comfort zone, and network and build relationships with people that don't look like you, believe in the things that you believe in, because it will challenge your perspective in life and help you build it as well. And secondly, I would say take advantage of school. Into my first point, you have an opportunity to lay the foundation and understand knowledge of just history, politics, in the business module that you don't really understand or get to, unless you're working in a specific business in the real world now. And you have an opportunity to take advantage of that. So a network and really, take advantage of the education standpoint. And lastly, build your brand. Find ways to do that and learn how to do that. I think you'll be fine.
Preach.
Come on now.
Tabernacle.
Let's talk about your current job with the Rams. Not necessarily your job, but
Right.
you're working with them. Were the Rams, as an organization, excited about going to the UK? There are some organizations when they got to make that trip, not as happy. What was the Rams' perspective on it?
Yeah, it's interesting. From an administrative standpoint, we were excited. I mean, we get to grow the game internationally and travel to the UK. From the player standpoint, you have to think about it. So this year we played Jacksonville prior to going to London. So we left on Wednesday, played on Sunday, flew out to London that whole entire week. Played that game on Saturday, stayed in London 2 more days, and came back to California. So it's tough, on your body, on recovery, on traveling. So not as many players are for it, but they enjoy the experience. They appreciate it. But just that traveling and logistics of it sometimes gets tough. But we were excited. We had a great time. It's always great to go to the UK, play some football, and have a good time.
Do you think players would appreciate it more if there was a home-based team over there versus the sort of all-star round-robin thing that they're doing now?
Right. They definitely, if we had a home team there, we would definitely appreciate it. And for many reasons, definitely, I mean, what a great experience to play, internationally.
Yep.
But we thinking about growing the game of football,
Right.
In the UK and having the youth, have role models to look up to. We have opportunities in the community, to get out there and empower and to inspire people and donate and financially support. And football, it's been declining the past few years. So to grow this game on an international level, all for it. And I think it'll be great for teams.
Do you have any idea why, the games this year are so one-sided? Why did one team have a better advantage than the others? Because we were actually out there to go see my Ravens. We got smashed by the Jags.
Right, interesting. It could be various reasons. It could be traveling. It could be unfamiliar territory, in regards to practice schedules, and just the day-to-day routines. And the freedom, you're in a different environment that you've been in, and who knows when you'll go there again. So I'm sure as far as your time, it's a lot more leisure to go travel and enjoy and experience. So
shortage.
Shout out to Shortage.
try to politic that one. But you know what I'm saying. Right?
Oh, we know.
Yeah, okay.
Trapeze.
Say no more.
I'm gonna sip on this. Tito.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we heard your football love story. Unfortunately, your NFL career ended prematurely. With the doctors telling
Says you. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Bear down, baby.
For real.
Let's go.
With the doctors
heavy.
basically telling you one more hit and you could be paralyzed, was it still a tough decision to decide to retire?
Yes, it was the hardest thing I had to deal with in my life. You know, you talk about starting playing football at 10 years old, and at the age of 24, 25, everything you've known is gone off of one play, you know, even from a confidence standpoint, from a working out standpoint, you know, everything was always geared to football day to day. And it was 4 or 5 doctors that told me it wasn't clear to me to come back and play that game of football. And you move on to reality, and it's like, what's next? Who am I? And how do I live? And what do I live for? You know? And I look back on it, and it's been such a blessing in disguise because I know who Johnathan is. You know, throughout my college and NFL career in high school, it was Johnathan, number 23, the football player. You know, the guy running around at UCLA, meeting this person and that person. But now I look in the mirror and know that's enough. And I didn't have that before. You know, I have an internal peace and joy and confidence about myself where everything that I had was so external back then. So I would love to play, don't get me wrong, but I'm so blessed to be where I am and to have the peace and the joy that I do.
Okay.
Man, you are a better human being than I, because I would have been pissing and mad at everybody.
But don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I was absolutely depressed for probably a year of tears, of just loss. When I say I lost my identity, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to be happy. I didn't know what to do, you know? So it took a year of really rebuilding me and finding me and losing me and accepting that, you know? And
Strong enough to come out the other side.
and you know, so blessed to have great people, because it takes a village, you know, to raise a child. And I had great mentors to lean on, you know, but also I had to look in the mirror and be like, you know, it's on you to do this, you know. So
Was the difficulty in being like, okay, I gotta go away from the game, or was the difficulty in like acknowledging like that this was the end? Like, was it like a hard decision, even though you got 5 doctors telling you no, it's over, like that's it?
right.
Or was it more so thinking about, I don't know what's on the other side of that?
It was both, because this game
Really?
of football I love, you know. But also was on the other side either. You know, growing up in the inner city of South Central Los Angeles, football was my clutch, you know, as a young man. It was my everything. So when you're growing up in the inner city and you use that and you build off that and thrive off this game, you don't know anything else. And yeah, that unknown, it scared me. And I didn't know at the time how to live within that unknown too, you know? So
Right.
that was it.
Kind of sound like an audiobook right now.
Come on, I'm gonna take that as a compliment. You know what I'm saying?
Smooth sounds of jazz.
Come on, now. Come on.
Quiet Storm with Johnathan Franklin.